Okay, so what we're covering here is how we look at our forecasting and then identify quotes that were due to be closed in the past that haven't yet been closed, and then go through a workflow where we either update those to a new forecasted close date or close them off and remove them from our forecasting. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to our forecasting tab on our dashboard, okay, and access those reports. Okay, and the first report we see is current open quotes by expected close date. So we can see that we've got right now we're in November and we've got 3 months worth of quotes with an expected close date in the past that are still sitting as open quotes. So clearly there's something wrong there. So what we want to do is we want to drill down into that report. So we hover over our title bar here and click on our little edit icon. Okay, and that takes us to our original report. Okay, so what I can now do is scroll down and I see the corresponding data that makes up that graph, those graphs in that report. So the first thing I see is in August I've got a quote for Adam for a total value of a bit over $1 million. Okay, so what I want to do is go through and process each one of those quotes and work out which of those is valid and which one's not. Okay, close off the ones that are no longer valid and move the forecasted close date forward for the ones that are still a possible win or one quote. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up each of these quotes in another tab so that I don't lose my place in the report, and I'm going to do that by holding down Command and clicking on the number, or if you're on Windows, holding down Control and clicking on the number, the quote number. Okay, so I can just open these quotes in the background. Okay, so now I've got all of my quotes open in new tabs, so I'm just going to go through one by one. Okay, and have a look at the quote. Okay, and I can see this quote was due to be closed in August. Okay, that's clearly, and it's with a sales stage of casual customer. So we want to give the customer a call, find out if it's still viable as a project, and if it is, get an updated close date, or if it's not, change the stage to close lost. Okay, so what I'm going to do to add a comment is I'm going to create or log a phone call. Okay, so I'll give the customer a call. I'm going to log that call. So I spoke to, okay, let's say Norm, for example. Okay, and he might have given us an indication. Okay, that the project's been delayed by 6 months. New award date is February. Okay, and based on that, what I'm going to do is move the next follow move the next follow-up date forward. Okay, to say January. Okay, I'm going to leave the status as it is. Okay, or if I just want to update the quote directly, I can just go in, edit the quote, okay, and just move the next follow-up date, the expected close date through to February, and hit save. Okay, and what that will do is that will then be reflected in my report. Exactly. Yeah. So just adding the note adds that history there as to what actually happened. Okay. and then hit save, and then close off that tab and go to the next quote and do the same thing. Okay. Alright, so that's how we just go through and update each of our quotes. Now if we want to take a shortcut, we can just edit each quote directly. Okay, but I think we want to encourage the logging of activity.